in the development of modern philosophy and modern science. It's not uncommon to hear popular scientists speak as if though human beings were not part and parcel of this cosmos and whatever it is doing. So I'd like to demonstrate this with a playful tweet exchange from 2019. This comes from the astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, who will be familiar to most of you, and a brilliant response, I think, coming from the late comedian Norm Macdonald, who most of you also probably know. And this illustrates this sort of tension about the place of human beings in the world, this question of our anthropocosmic relationship to all that is. So I imagine it's about 6 a.m. deGrasse Tyson gets up, he has a pot of coffee, and he wants to give a message to his rather large following. And here it is. The universe is blind to our sorrows and indifferent to our pains. Have a nice day, right? It's a lovely way to begin a day. To which MacDonald, I think, brilliantly responds, Neil, there is a logic flaw in your little aphorism that seems quite telling. Since you and I are part of the universe, then we would also be indifferent and uncaring. Perhaps you forgot, Neil, that we are not superior to the universe, but merely a fraction of it. Nice day indeed. So it's a playful response, but there's something deep within it. The logic flaw that Norm is pointing to is that Neil can only utter these statements by removing his own existence and experience out of the universe, as if though it had nothing to say about this universe, its nature, its character, and what it is up to. After all, if we think about our experience, we're hardly the kinds of creatures, say, that are blind to sorrow and indifferent by pain. In fact, at cultural and individual levels, most of us, if we are healthy, arguably, would see those as moral faults, wouldn't we? What is more, this refrain, have a nice day itself, is hardly blind or indifferent. So what Norm is pointing to is his neglect of this anthropocosmic interplay of which two-way Ming speaks. We cannot just abstract our own existence and experience out of the universe. So I think it's important for us to counter this tendency of abstraction, as Whitehead would call it, and affirm that we are part and parcel of this universe, and counter quick dismissals of our weddedness to nature that come through whether deGrasse Tyson or certainly a number of others. And I love this statement by Ian McGilchrist, who we recently had a conference in honor of his thought, but who counters precisely this kind of insight. It's as if he's responding to statements by deGrasse Tyson and those like him. So consider his thoughts. He says, there's a parallel between the false view that we are separate from and over against nature, and the idea that we are separate from and over against the cosmos. This cannot be true for the same reason in either case. We were born out of and returned to the one and the other. It therefore makes no sense, Neil, to set us up as proud, lonely, tragic figures, struggling against nature, trying to subdue her, or struggling defiantly to bring love, goodness, and beauty into a hostile cosmos. Any love, goodness, or beauty we can bring come out of nature and out of the cosmos in the first place. Where else can they possibly come from? Where indeed? So the central thrust then of this first lure for your attention or lure for your feeling is that our anthropocosmic experience speaks about the cosmos at large, and the cosmos at large also speaks in human experience.